From the Daily Wire, judge blocks Trump's ban on transgenders in military. On Tuesday, U.S. District Judge Ana Reyes, nominated to her post by former President Biden, issued a preliminary injunction to block the Trump administration from banning transgender troops from serving in the U.S. military. And we are going to take a look specifically at one passage of her ruling. U.S. District Judge Ana Reyes, who has in the past worked to defeat California Proposition 209, which wanted to ban state governmental institutions from considering race, sex, and ethnicity regarding employment, claimed in her 79-page opinion that military leaders were, quote, responsible for integrating transgender persons into open military service, close quote, and asserted that recruiting, unit cohesion, and military readiness had improved since 2021. On January 27th, President Trump issued an executive order 14183, which revoked Biden's executive order, which permitted transgenders to serve openly in the military. This is one of the most fascinating things ever. That people don't get it, and I believe it boils down to their worldview, like how they see the world, like everything is a right for them. I have a right to this, and I have a right to that. The military has one goal, that is to be lethal. They want the best of the best of the best, period. Do you know that I have a disorder that would have barred me from joining in the military? By the way, it's nothing that I did on my own. It wasn't some sort of illicit drug I took, and so I was whacked out. No, it was just a condition that it was kind of like hereditary, and it completely bars me from serving in the military. And even if I had been in the military, I would have been honorably discharged. And hang on a second. So let's read this, because this is fascinating to me. The court does not issue this preliminary injunction lightly. I beg to differ, honey. Yeah, you do. Judicial overreach is no less pernicious than executive overreach. But the coordinated branches must, quote, by their mutual relations be the means of keeping each other in their proper places, close quote. Federalist number 51, James Madison. The president and defendants could have crafted a policy that balanced the nation's need for a prepared military and Americans' right to equal protection. They still can. The military ban, however, is not that policy. The court, therefore, must act to uphold the equal protection rights that the military defends every day. The court's opinion is long, but its premise is simple. In the self-evident truth that, quote, all people are created equal, close quote, all means all, nothing more and certainly nothing less. Do you see what she's saying here? See, you have to employ the person's rights. You have to keep their rights intact. But you forfeit those rights, for the most part, when you join the military. We've all seen it. The second you go in the military, you don't get to wear your hair the way you want to wear your hair. They all get buzzed, don't they? You don't get to wear your tennis shoes instead of their combat boots. You don't get to wear your special fatigues. No, you have to wear the ones that are issued to you. This boils down to a worldview. Now, many of you guys know that I'm a Christian and I see the world through the prism of the Gospels. And when I saw this, one scripture jumped to my mind. Now, some of you are not going to like this. No, I'm telling you, point blank, you're not going to like it. But I have to give you, a heads up. You're not going to like it, but I do believe that this will illustrate what's happening with our military. Hang on. This is Matthew 22, 1 through 14. Just bear with me. It's circuitous, but I think that you'll get how I see this. And if you're a Christian, this should really ring true for you. Okay? And Jesus answered and spoke to them again by parables and said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who arranged a marriage for his son and sent out his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding. And they were not willing to come. Again, he sent out other servants, saying, 'Tell those who are invited, see, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fatted calf and are killed, and all things are ready. Come to the wedding.' But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his business. And the rest seized his servants, treating them spitefully, and killed them. But when the king heard about it, he was furious, and he sent out his armies, destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then he said to his servants, 'The wedding is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore, go into the highways, and as many as you find, invite to the wedding.' So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all whom they found, both bad and good. And the wedding hall was filled with his guests." Here's your scenario. The king had invited a group of people. Now, I'm just going to give you the kind of inside baseball here. This is really talking about the prophets that God had sent, and how they were killing God's prophets. Because for those of you who don't know, the kingdom split in two, and God was sending certain prophets to tell them to repent and come back to God. But they didn't hear it, couldn't hear it, and they were killing God's prophets. That's really what this is about. But you got to hear the ending of this. And still, this has nothing to do with trans in the military. It has everything to do with it. Please just give me just 2 more minutes. But when the king came in to see the guests, he saw a man there who did not have on a wedding garment. And he said to him, "Friend, how did you come in here without a wedding garment?" And he was speechless. Then the king said to the servants, "Bind him hand and foot, take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." Verse 14, "For many are called, but few are chosen." You see, that was always baffling to me. Many are called, but few are chosen. You see, notice what he says. He says, he saw a man. You've got a wedding hall that's full of guests, but there's one guy that stands out, and he doesn't have on the proper garment. You would think, wow, hold on a second, Jesus, you're saying I got to dress right? That's exactly what he's trying to tell you. That when the king invites you, you come to the wedding on his terms. And it never occurred to the one guy, hey, wow, it looks like everybody's got a tux on except me. Wow, everybody's really dressed to the nines. Is that proper attire for this? It never occurs to this man. I believe that's why Jesus said, he saw a man. So there's one person out there that stands out like a sore thumb. And it never occurred to that man, well, hang on a second. Well, where did you get your tux? Maybe I can go get one. Hey, where'd you get your suit? Maybe I can get one. Notice, he called the good and the bad. That's why he says, for many are called. The king was like, bring them all. Few are chosen, because very few come on the king's terms. The same goes with the military. You go to the military on their terms, not yours. You don't get to do your thing when you're in the military. You do the military the way they want you to do the military. That's how life works. You don't get to go to a brand new job and start changing their protocol. You do it the way the job does it. I saw this. It is very fascinating to me, this teacher on TikTok. And she was saying that she had a seating chart for all the students. And she said the reason she institutes a seating chart, and it's high school students, she said, because they always sit by their friends. And so they tap, 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 and they miss all the lessons. So she has a seating chart and assigned seating. And people were mad at her for doing it. People were writing her on TikTok saying, what are you doing? You don't get to, why are you doing that? Just let them sit where they want to sit. No. Because she knows as a teacher, the cute girls are going to sit with the cute girls, the jocks are going to sit with the jocks, and everybody, and nobody's going to learn anything. And I just responded and said, the first job these people get, particularly if it's in a professional setting, you're going to have assigned seating. You're going to have a sitting chart. We call them cubicles. You are going to be assigned one. You are going to have to go to that assigned seat. You don't get to go wherever you want. We had like 14 floors. You don't get to go to the floor you want to go to and pick the office you want and pick the cubicle you want. You don't get to go to the military and tell them how to do it. You go to the military on their terms. You don't get to come to God there everywhere, however you want to come. And I understand this whole thing. Well, come as you are. God does want you to come as you are, but you don't get to come to the church in a bikini. Honey, we want everybody to come. But when you come in a bikini, we got to draw the line, honey. We can't have you walking around in high heels and a bikini sitting in the front row. How in the world are people going to be even listening to it? And I'm not talking about being distracted by you. I'm talking about people being distracted by you. You got to have some sort of standard. And when you come to God, you come on his terms. That's the whole point of many are called, few are chosen. He called everyone, good and bad. And he was good with everybody because everybody recognized the importance of the occasion, except one guy that stood out. This judge is way out of line. My guess is she never served in the military. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if she hates the military. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not kidding either. Because she doesn't care. When she says all means all, it's like, so if a schizophrenia wants to serve in the military, we got to let him? Really? All means all? Are you out of your mind? We want the best of the best of the best. We want the cream of the crop. Imagine SEAL Team 6 saying, well, the judge says we just got to take her because, we have to take them. Yeah, but I don't like swimming. But I want to be on the team, but I don't like swimming. Imagine being, you may think that this is silly. Imagine, for those of you who don't know, I grew up in South Central LA, and there were two main factions, two main gangs, the Crips and the Bloods. The Bloods would wear red. The Crips would wear blue. Imagine me wanting to join the Bloods. Hey man, I really want to join your gang, but I really don't like red. I'd rather wear blue because it really compliments my eyes. It really makes my eyes pop. What? Huh? Imagine I want to join the Crips, but blue is really not my color. Can I just wear, pink? You think it's silly, and it is silly, and I'm not doing it to venerate these, losers in gangs, but I am telling you, everybody has a standard. And the left hates standards. All right, that's it for now. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.